let's do this. We have ourselves another tape haul. Got ourselves another tape haul. If you aren't with it, I understand, and I still love you. But if you are with it, welcome aboard. Let's get into it. Okay, so what are we starting with? This is a movie. I had no clue that this movie even existed. I came across it. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. So we have One from the Heart. So this movie came out in 1981. This is a Francis Ford Coppola movie. And this is a sealed VHS. You see the watermarks on the back. You see the watermarks. How much did I pay for this? I think I paid around $40 for this. I thought this was a good price just because it's a early 80s release. So 1981 movie, 1983 VHS release. This thing looks terrific. The box art looks amazing. Zoetrope Studios. This was Francis Ford Coppola's studio that he came up with after. So he did The Godfather, Godfather 2, and then Apocalypse Now. So this was the movie that he did after Apocalypse Now. He was, from the research that I did, he was the director. He was sick of shooting on location, so he shot this movie entirely from his studio. I forget the name of the actual technical term. Soundstage. In Los Angeles. So the movie was set in Las Vegas, but he did it from his big old soundstage. And it's supposed to be kind of a hyper realistic. It's a musical. It's like it had a whole lot of everything. And from the reviews that I saw, but it was met with a lot of just mixed reviews. You know what I'm saying? So this one, so it went from being a $2 million movie to a $25 million movie, and needless to say that it flopped because no one's ever heard of this movie, and it bankrupted the studio. So this was the first and only movie to be under the Zoetrope Studios banner. Grand opening, grand closing. But yeah, and if this movie did so bad that it forced Francis Ford Coppola to do like a bunch of other projects that he didn't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, but yet and still, good looking box art is still sealed up. You know, when you come across something like this, yeah. So One from the Heart. So the premise of this movie is that it's a couple that they were together for about 5 years, and they when they drift apart, and it's set behind the backdrop of a musical. Okay, all right. So One from the Heart, Zoetrope Studios. Okay, what's next? Ooh, I'm really excited about this one. Freaking very happy to get this one. So we have The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Clint Eastwood's. Is this Clint Eastwood's most popular movie? What do you think? I think it is, but because I can't. Maybe my brain is a little foggy. I can't think of any other movie that's like as popular as this one, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. But yeah, got the. Now this is not the first release. There is a big box release. I think an early 1980, 1981 big box release. So this is the second release from 1984. But that's okay. That's all right. I'm not even thinking about the big box release. This one is A-okay with me. I like this one. I like this version a lot. So yeah. And you You saw the watermarks. You saw the CBS Fox watermarks on the back. I don't think I'm going to be effing around with any CBS Fox releases that don't have the watermarks on the back. You know what I'm saying? And you got the $29.99 suggested retail price sticker. So yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I believe I paid $75 for this. I think. No. I think I got this for $150. I think I paid $150 for this. I think. But that's okay, because I noticed that there were copies that sold in similar price that were in way worse condition than this. There was one where this price sticker here and like the plastic surrounding was gone, was missing. And the condition on this is hella beautiful. Look at that. Hella beautiful. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. This is a very solid high grade copy of The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. All right, so we go from a VHS release with a big old price sticker on it to another VHS release with a big old price sticker on it. The Falcon, and not the Winter Soldier, The Falcon and the Snowman, with Timothy Hutton and Sean Penn. So the story on this is you had a kid with a lot of promise. He gets a job with the government, high security, high level clearance type stuff. And he has a friend that, come here, cutie. Come here. Do you hear Sylvester meowing? Come here. Come here. Come here. You must be hungry, or you want to go outside. But he has the kid with the high level security clearance has a drug dealing friend, and the friend with the high level security clearance, he becomes disillusioned, and they sell secrets to enemies, to America's enemies, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I remember this movie coming on like Turner Classic Movies, but I never really paid attention to it. But this movie looks really interesting. I saw clips from it, and I'm just like, oh, wow. Okay, so if I ever get a chance to actually watch all of the movie, then I will. But yeah, the clips that I saw, hella interesting. Okay, so this movie is from 1985, but from what I'm seeing, this release here has to be from 1988. Because this looks like, so 1088. And so you have the old school Vestron logo here, but you have a newer Vestron video logo. But I'm fine with that, just because there's at least watermarks, and you can see it's tough to see. But there's a watermark there, watermark there. So I like this just because. Oh, here's Sylvester. Come here, cutie. Oh, my sweet baby. Let's see, here she is. Oh, she must be hungry. But anyway, we'll feed you in a minute. Don't you worry. What did I want to say? I can't think. Falcon and the Snowman still sealed up. A lot of stickers on it, but that's okay. I like it. The stickers add character. And I got this for $50. Got this for $50. I really don't know what this thing really would go for, but that's all right. I dig this, especially for the price. All right, I'm really excited about this. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So we have an MGM big box, and in lieu of watermarks, there are no watermarks on these big boxes here. We have a nice, cool looking price sticker, which is good enough for me. I dig this. So, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 1978 remake of the movie from the 50s, where you have the Pie People and this, that, and the third, starring a young Jeff Goldblum, Leonard Nimoy, and Donald Sutherland. So this is the movie where you have Donald Sutherland doing the kind of the doing the pointing. He goes, "Oh!" That meme, that pointing meme, the grotesque pointing meme comes from this movie here. And we have I believe this release is a 1980, early 80s. I want to say either 80, 81, or 80, 81, 82, or 83. I can't find if there is an earlier release for this. You know what I'm saying? So this has to be the early, this might, I don't want to say it has to be, but it might be the earliest release. And as you can see, it basically opens like a book. So yeah, very fancy, beautiful. Look at this, still sealed up. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Got this for $75. Got this for $75. So yeah, very cool, man. Love this. Okay, what's next? We have another Batman. We have another 1989 Batman. What I like about this is that we have I believe this is the actual first release. So we have the Christmas lights watermarks, where the other version has kind of like these are a little bit more exaggerated and longer vertically, as opposed to the kind of tinier watermarks. I should have dug and shown you the other version of Batman with the other watermarks on it, but I saw this. I was like, ooh, I know what this is. So we got this for $30, and there are copies of this Christmas lights watermarks version that I think have sold in the couple of $100 range, so multiple hundreds of dollars range. So definitely got a good deal on this. Again, you can see, man, I tell you what, if we get around to doing the Tales from the Flip Side tape heads, I'll do a comparison of watermarks. But yeah, we have the longer Christmas lights version watermarks from Batman 1989. So this, I believe this is the very first release of this movie. All right, we are not done with Clint Eastwood. So we have Paint Your Wagon. Paint Your Wagon, featuring Clint Eastwood and Lee Marvin, two prospectors who share a wife and kidnap prostitutes. Okay, all right. So this movie, I believe, is from I want to say late 60s. I forget what year, but I appreciated this just because I think I paid $40 for this total, and I don't know if you can see the back watermarks, the back Paramount watermarks on this. So I was just like, all right, and you can see it there as well. So I was like, it's a Betamax, I don't know if you really come across a Betamax version of Paint Your Wagon. So, all right, okay, why not? All right, what's next? Ooh, I don't know why. Yeah, you know what? I'm excited about all these titles that I find, but I'm excited about this one. So we have the Octagon. The Octagon with Chuck Norris. So this is an early 80s media home video release. You can see the media watermarks. And what I like about this isn't necessarily a slipcase. As you can see, this is a bottom top flap box here. You know what I'm saying? So you can either kind of open it up from the bottom or from the top, probably from the bottom here. But again, this is our early 80s. They were trying to figure out the best way to package these cassettes. You know what I'm saying? Until they finally settled on the slipcase. They were just, these home video companies were just trying to figure it out. All right, so 1983 media home video. You know what? I started watching this movie and I got sidetracked, so I really can't tell you what it's about. But it's a cool looking box art. I will say that. I got this for $50, and I noticed that the ones that were available, they sold in probably like the $80 range. You know what I'm saying? So I like this. Again, early 80s media home video release. Beautiful watermarks on the front. And not necessarily a slipcase. So yeah, very, very experimental packaging here. All right. I came across this for $20. I figured, why the hell not? So we have Lost Horizon. This is a movie from 1937. Now, for whatever reason, I thought this was a sci-fi picture, but it's not. It's about being stranded in Tibet and whatever that entails. But I saw it for $20. I'm like, all right, why not? It has the RCA watermarks on the back. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's buy it. It looks good. And it was cheap enough. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know what this movie is about, but it was cheap enough. All right. Here's a movie that I don't know. I figured I would go ahead and pick it up. So we've got Mean Girls. I got this for $150. I don't know if that was that great of a price or not, but it goes for that much. But you probably could get it for cheaper. You know what I'm saying? But when I came across this was probably the only time that I had seen it. So we have Mean Girls, the 2004 movie. I don't know. I remember seeing this movie in the theater. And the chicks in the movie, they weren't that mean. They were catty, but they weren't mean. Like, when you think Mean Girls, you're just like, okay, they either beat you up or drive you to suicide. And, neither of those things happened. They were just, they were a little bitchy, they were a little catty, but they weren't mean. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But what more did I want to say about this? You have the watermarks on the side. I probably wouldn't have bought it if it didn't have the watermarks. But looks good. All right. So we go from Mean Girls. To Mean Boys. From Mean Girls to Mean Boys. Tough Turf from 1985. So we have Ultron. So we have Ultron and Tony Stark. They're in a movie together in the early 80s. And this is the story of the new kid in town who makes a foul of the local bullies / street gang. And this movie was just all over the place. I watched this movie last night. And this movie was so 80s. Holy shit. A lot. What I noticed about the 80s, there was just like a lot of carryover from other decades, and I would say even like as far back as the 1950s, because a lot of the dialogue in this movie it felt kind of 50s ish. You know what I'm saying? It's just like and you could tell somebody from like that came up in the 40s and 50s like had a lot to do with this movie, because it was just a lot of cornball elements. You know what I'm saying? And you can't tell me, because this high school had black kids in it, and you cannot tell me that the head of the street gang was some like Latino guy, and no no black kids were in the mix. But yeah, this is like, you know, suburban fantasy of what tough actually is. But you can see the watermarks on the front. So I got this for $250. I don't know. I never see this movie, so when I saw it, I put in a bid. I put in a buy. No, it was a best offer for $250, because they wanted a hell of a whole lot more for it. But I put in the best offer for $250, and they took it. So I'm like, all right, that's fine, and it's good. And the watermarks sealed the deal for me. So yeah, Tough Turf. We got Tough Turf. And I believe that is it. So we went through about 10 tapes, and hopefully this Sunday we'll have a Tales from the Flip Side tape heads, and we can maybe get more in depth on these videos, on these tapes here, and even more than that. All right, so that's my video haul. I'm sticking to it. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for another comic book haul coming soon. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.